Sometimes the philosophy of success needs to be repeated over and over again, and I'm going to go through that here as an introduction. Firstly, the first step: understand the difference between incidental or permanent success. We know that permanent success is long-term, and that we measure the short-term in relation to the achievement of the long-term. We know we'll never reach it. It's a process. Apparent or incidental success, which is what we mostly call the ego, is when we take anything that happens, instead of being grateful for it, we act as if we achieved something. The second part of all this is what you'll give: the gratitude, inspiration, vision, and enthusiasm. You'll see a child absolutely 100% engaged in what they do. They give 100%. So the question you need to ask yourself, the second step in success, is what would you be worth giving up everything you have? Your parenting, your child, your family, everything, giving up to give the world just one thing. The third step are your boundaries. Everybody is born into a limited environment, and instead of sitting in that environment, we turn what I can't do into what I can. And that's a really important awareness, that not all people are born into the same equal opportunities. So success is more like a climb, and you're climbing past obstacles, and those obstacles I'm going to introduce you to in a minute are things that we need to focus on and make sure that we don't ever rest and surrender to them. They are very important, and it is no different to climbing up to the top of a hill. Your boundaries are, as we've discussed in the other videos, your endowments, such as your talents and your acuities, your opportunities, where the environment you're born into and the opportunities it presents to you, and the current job you have and the current training, your environment, the community, the country, the family, the circumstances you're born into, your relations, your family members, your partner, your kids, and the neighborhood, and last but not least, your vision. How powerful is your anticipation or expectation of what you can achieve in the future? The fourth part of success are your stepping stones. What are you going to have to turn from problems to solutions over and over and over again? Turning problems to solutions. This is the concept of frustra. This is the concept of going over speed bumps, and we are continually turning problems to solutions. We must never surrender at that. Your stepping stones, therefore, to success are listed in priority. 1, use your personal power to your best advantage. That's a really big key. The second one is to seize opportunities in the best possible way for you. In other words, be always aware that there are opportunities knocking on your door, and grab them when they're appropriate. The third one is fulfill your life relations as well as you consciously can. And that, in a simple way, means love. Love people. Love people sometimes enough to let them leave. Love people enough to be aware of how you affect them. The fourth one is to adjust yourself to your environment. In other words, be a master of change, because the environment, the circumstances, the economy all around you is changing, and so must you. And endeavor to make your vision dreams come true. Keep those visions and dreams first and foremost in your mind, and know what your expectation of success might be for you. And we've talked about that continually when we talked about VIP. All of us have things we need to avoid or deny. Our head and our heart is continually having an arm wrestle. We fight between what we want short term, and we fight between what we want long term. We fight between what we want to give to others in the form of approval, and we fight for what we want ourselves. We fight for pleasure of the body. We get confused, and we get obsessed quite often between head, heart. And this yo-yo process is something that we can deal with. The success killers, therefore, are being in the comfort zone, learned helplessness, and the path of least resistance. Have a little chat about these right now. So let's talk about the comfort zone. The comfort zone is when we go to work and say, I want to be comfortable. I don't want to go through a frustra. I don't want to be challenged. I don't like being confronted by people. I don't like being rejected. And those are all the experiences of coming up against your next learning experience. So we try to avoid incompetence, and we get fired as a result. The second step in this process is learned helplessness, where we're either always on defense, and sitting on defense, or on attack as if we're under threat. And the third one is to be behaving as a primal person, the path of least resistance, lazy, just hoping like hell we get successful with a bit of luck. Sixth step in the philosophy of success, self-checking. Now look, there is a thing called a mood of success. We're going to talk about that in the podcast. But the mood of success is created when you self-check. You have to self-check yourself. Are you using your personal powers to the best advantage known to you? Are you using that? And that's a question you can ask yourself every single day of your life. Are you seizing opportunities in the best possible way? Ask yourself that when you're sitting at your desk, when you're on the bus, when you're wasting time, when you're sitting on the toilet. Are you seizing opportunities? Are you honestly trying to fill your relations in life? Are you actually being a super loving, kind, generous person? If not, adjust it, because these things are the mood of success. This is the stuff that makes success sustainable and makes it costless. Are you adopting and adapting, changing, keeping up with the space? Artificial intelligence is around us. Are we learning about it? Are you exploring it? And are you making each day a reflection of the future you want to build? This last one is my favorite, because I think today is a prophecy of the future. And if you can see how today is building the prophecy of the future, you absolutely feel like a superhero. And I think feeling like a superhero is kind of like that mood of success we're going to talk about in podcasts to come. And I think these questions that we've got on the screen right now are absolutely foundational to the mood of success. Let's move on right now to the seventh, influence. Very easy to start defining success as what I want, but the real essence of success is what you give. And the giving part of it means that you respect and understand that growing in success means growing in influence. You may shrink the number of people you interact with, but the people you interact with might be very powerful and have a lot of influence, or sell or deliver to a lot of others. Rather than to develop this idea of running a marathon or doing something that I really like, develop the concept of success is how much power are you able to use to influence the world around you. Not just your kids, the world's kids. Not just your partner, the world's partners. I liken this step to influence as to a shark. It is a king predator. It is feared by most animals in the sea, and this would be defined in a sense as rising to the top of the food chain. And that is defined as when we're talking about influence, that is the definition of success. Now with all this, I'm sure your head's spinning, and I apologize for that. It's not easy for me to condense thousands of years of knowledge of the concept of success into a modern language. So if your head's spinning right now, that's the gift of a video. That's the gift of having these things on audio. You can go back and re-listen, slow it down. But here's the elements of success. The first element is what we've just been through. A belief that there is a thing called the philosophy of success, that there is a formula for success. The second one, and we're going to cover the rest of these in videos in April, physical health, the power of will, alertness, fidelity, honor, hopefulness, courage, confidence, brain power, faith in the system in which we live, and physical magnetism. I will do a video on every one of these topics, splitting them into two groups: magnetism and the other group. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please pass it on. Please give it a like. Please, if you're listening just to the audio, please give it a like. It really helps to get the work out and spread it around. With lots of love, this is Chris. Bye for now.